right, so it's a very peculiar and odd development. I guess in a podcast with the Daily Wire or an interview with the Daily Wire, JD Vance attacked Milton Friedman, attacked Margaret Thatcher, attacked meritocracy. Was published, this whole story was published today in the Committee to Unleash Prosperity hotline. Here we have Steve Moore, host of More Money on WABC Radio, but also the head of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Steve Moore, so, I mean, Milton Friedman's ideas made more sense in the 1980s because they were being advocated in a country that still had a very rich and powerful institutional Christianity. What does that mean? I mean, Milton, by the way, was Jewish, but why is religion part of this at all? You know, either you believe in free enterprise or free markets or capitalism, or you believe in communism or socialism. What is Mr. Vance getting at?
Well, one of my favorite economists of all time once said that free market capitalism is the best path to prosperity.
Yes, thank you.
And I think that was you. That was the Kudlow creed, as I recall.
I mean,
and listen, JD Vance is someone I greatly admire. I think he's been an outstanding vice president for Donald Trump. I think he really helped him in the election, no question about it. But I think you and I, and maybe Arthur Laffer, have to pay him a little visit on economics because you know, he's a lawyer. He's not trained in economics. But to say, well, we have to move past the free market ideas of Milton Friedman would be like saying, well, we don't need a Bill of Rights anymore. That was written, you know, 200 years ago. He seems to believe that we need more government, a more robust, centralized government. And I think I don't think that's where the party is. I don't think that's where Donald Trump is. I don't think that's where most Republican voters are. We want a smaller government. We want lower taxes. We don't want a more intrusive federal government in our lives. We want more power to the states. He says, well, we want more Alexander Hamilton and less Milton Friedman. I don't get that. And by the way, as you know, Larry, Milton Friedman was really one of the inspirations for the Reagan Revolution.
Yes, of course he was. And Milton Friedman, by the way, in addition to being an economic apostle for free markets and free enterprise, he was a tremendous advocate for school choice, which this administration has basically embraced, as far as I can tell, especially the fabulous work done by Linda McMahon over at the Education Department. I was troubled by his reference, somehow today's Britain is Margaret Thatcher's fault. Margaret Thatcher was a breath of free market, fresh air, cutting spending and taxing, and at least it kept Britain afloat for 10 years before the lefties got it. And then this other business about attacking meritocracy. America was founded. Meritocracy is a founding principle of this country. I can't imagine what JD Vance is getting at.
You know, you're going to have to get him on your show and ask him that yourself. I was sort of surprised by some of these views. A meritocracy just means you can achieve. Anybody can achieve by their hard work and their effort and their brain power and their willingness to take risks. That's the whole American story. That's merit. You know, in America, you don't get ahead by your last name. You get ahead by what you achieve in your life, and that's in my opinion, that's what a meritocracy is.
And President Trump has said that a million times, and President Trump is ending DEI, for example, and that kind of racism, and he embraces a meritocracy. Trump, by the way, likes Milton Friedman. I don't know if I've ever asked him about Margaret Thatcher. Maybe you have or Arthur has. But these things are not consistent with what's going on with the president. So I just find it most curious. Perhaps he will come on the show. We have asked him to come on the show. He even attacks ambition. I don't know, ambition, as long as you play by the rules. Steve, stay with me. Mr. Trump...